Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello,
Thank you so
happy
much.
Wednesday.
It's
Or
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Oh my goodness, I'm living in the future.
I know, me too. Actually, I did that earlier today. That's how I knew so quickly. Happy work day, everyone. See everyone coming in. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so glad to have you here with us today. My name is Tamara Candeloro. I'm so thrilled that you decided to join us and you carved out your time for today's BlueLedge Software Showcase with Stenograph. So, as you know, here at BlueLedge, we're constantly listening to what's happening in the field, what challenges you're facing, what tools are emerging, what skills, we think you guys want to know more about, what skills you want to be developing and you need to be developing. And that's actually how we decide which topics to cover, which partners we want to bring in, and how we can best support you in all of that. So, this series with the software showcase is a direct result of all of that. So we're very excited about this today. We're so thankful for Stenograph being here. And I gotta say, I love about our Blue Ledge community is you guys, of course, how engaged and curious you all are. So please, by all means, send in the emoticons as you guys are. And as we go through today's presentation, please don't hold back. Use the Q&A pod to ask your questions. We're here for you, so don't be shy. And as you can see in the chat, we have a great group here. We have people from all over the country, from all different facets. Like we'll find out a little bit more too. So you guys really tap into each other and get to know each other. Feel free to pick up names on who's out there, and we'll find each other on social and get together that way too. So we have some really exciting content lined up. I can't wait to see what insights come out of this for here today. On the housekeeping side, this webinar is approved for AAERT CEU credit. You do have to stay logged in for the entire time in order to get that credit. And you also need to fill out the survey, and we'll have a link for that that's going to be emailed to you tomorrow from info@blueledge.com. So at the end of that survey link, after you hit submit, stay on the screen and it'll direct you over to where you can get your certificate and be set. Okay. All right, so what to expect for today? We have a very informative showcase planned for you. Stenograph is here to show you their software and let you see all the tools that they have designed to facilitate and handle all stages really within the court reporting process for you. This is the third showcase in the series that we're putting on for you, and all of these will be posted on our website under the webinars tab on blueledge.com. So feel free to check them out, review anything that you see here today. You want to see it again and repeat it, or you want to share it with your friends, it'll be available there for you soon. And we're going to go ahead and start with the demo of Stenograph. Then we're going to open up for some Q&A in that Q&A pod after that. So even if you see stuff during the demo, you want to ask some questions, pop them in the Q&A pod right there, and then we'll hold them and ask them right then after. Sound good? And as always, we always have the upvote option as well, you guys. So if there's anything particularly someone's asked that you already want to know the answer to as well, feel free to upvote it and we'll know to pay particular attention to that. Okay, so like I said, my name's Tamara. I'm the enrollment manager here at BlueLedge. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'd be happy to help you talk through your career goals and figure out anything that you'd like to do career-wise. And then also with us, we have Merritt. Merritt, will you go ahead and introduce yourself for us all?
Yes, thank you. My name is Merritt Gilbert. I am the director and lead instructor at BlueLedge. As many of you know, we offer certification prep training and continuing education courses for digital reporters and legal transcriptionists. Before working at BlueLedge, I became a digital reporter in 2012. I also worked at a court reporting agency for many years where I hired and trained digital reporters and transcriptionists. Thank you for being here today.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So we're going to meet our wonderful panelists from Stenograph as well. But first, you guys, let's find out a little bit more about you, all of you joining us today. And we're going to do that with just a few polls for you to answer to go through that way and let us know where you're at and what you're doing. Sound good? All right. So let me launch the first one. And that's going to be around your role. All right. So what role best describes you currently? Student? A digital reporter, legal transcriptionist, scopist, and or proofer? digital reporter and legal transcriptionist, a courthouse employee, DR and/or LT, a manager and admin, or other. So let us know there. I see the answers coming in through. Got a decent amount, but more people still waiting to fill that out. And I'm going to go ahead and close it here at that and share the results. All right. So uh, heaviest on there is the digital reporter at 47%. And then we have 7% students getting in early to learn and see what else is out there ahead of them. And then we've got about, what is that, like 20, I doing the math in my head, 32% are legal transcriptionist and digital reporter, scopist, or proofer. So it's a good amount, a good mix in here of what we have of all you going on in there. And then we have 2% courthouse people in here, and the manager admin at 8%, and then other at the 4%. So very good. Thank you guys so much for answering that. And let me pull up the next one we're going to do. Oh, it popped out. Okay. Bear with me. On your software selection, who has chosen the software that you are currently using? And you can select multiple answers on this one. So it's either I chose my digital reporting software, my employer chose my digital reporting software, I chose my legal transcription software, or my employer chose my legal transcription software. So we certainly see it happen all kinds of ways, depending on where you're coming from and the particular place where you're working at the time. So feel free to answer those for us. I see it's starting to level out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and share. All right. So by far the bulk of you have your employer choosing your digital software at 67%. And then even on the bulk for the legal transcription, the majority of you have your employer choosing your legal transcription software. That's coming in at 33%. And then we have the others falling out the other way. So thank you guys for letting us know. It's always interesting to see what's going on in the industry at the time. And then one more I'm going to ask on this one is going to be your experience level. So how many years of experience do you have in the industry in any capacity at all? So we have less than 1 year, 1 to 2 years, 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10 years, or 11 plus years. Everybody fill that out for us. I love seeing this one. This is awesome because you get to see the brand new babies and the ones that have been here for forever. You guys know who your peeps are. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this poll and share the results. Pretty evenly split today, honestly, on that one. We're almost right down the board between the 1 to 2 years, the 3 to 5 years, and the 11 plus years. And then we have a little bit less of people that have been here 6 to 10 years, and then 10% have been in here less than a year in the industry. So very good. Have a wide variety of experience and knowledge with us today. All right, great. Thank you guys so much for that, for filling all of that out. And now, what do you say we like get into it and get going? I'm going to throw it over to you, Pam. You want to take it away for us and get your awesome presentation going?
Okay, sounds good. I would love to. First of all, let's see if you are seeing my screen. Let me move over to my introduction slide. Can you see my welcome slide?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Well,
perfect.
good. Well, thank you, everyone. As Tamara said, thanks very much for joining us today. I know it's a busy time of the year with the holidays coming up around the corner and middle of the day. So we certainly appreciate you taking the time to carve out for seeing our products. So who is Stenograph? Well, we've been around for 85 years, so this name might be somewhat familiar to you. If not, if you're pretty new to the industry, as some of you might be, we supply software and hardware for capturing the record for all methods, whether it's steno for our stenographers, our voice reporters, and now also our digital community. So we are part of a company called HEICO. And HEICO has been in business for 40 years. They're a privately held company that focuses on a lot of manufacturing industry. And so they are our parent company. If, again, you aren't familiar with Stenograph, our vision has always been to provide the top quality products. And ultimately, those products are to preserve the record, capture the record in verbatim transcripts. So this is our team. Now, they're not all here today, but starting from the top would be Tally, who is our visionary, and his support team or his leadership involves Mark on the enterprise side. Now, when I say enterprise, that means the digital side of the house. And for the bulk of our session here today, we're going to be showing you our digital products. Of course, we also have Michelle on the core side, which is our steno and voice reporters. And in the middle is Amrit, who oversees all of our products. So today, though, who you'll meet is the next tier. Ashley and Sunny and myself will be demonstrating and talking about the product. But let's start with our background, which is starting with Sunny Han. Sunny has been in the industry, 10 plus years. We just want to introduce ourselves and let you know who we are. But she's been in the industry for 10 plus years, providing basically and delivering training materials, curriculum development. And so some of you might be familiar with Sunny. Ashley has also been in the industry for over 10 years, and her experience leans on the side of the agencies as well as product development. Larry and myself combined, we're the mom and dad of the team. And we've been around for a long time. So we won't go into quite how long Larry and I have been around. But basically, Larry is a certified shorthand reporter for over 20 years. And he also was a director of a court reporting school in Texas for 5 years. Myself, I've been 30 plus years, support, sales, training, product development with Stenograph, as well as some other major companies that support the legal industry, LexisNexis. I got some product hardware knowledge with Epson. But Sunny and I both are certified with AAERT. And so we've gone through those tests and those exams and understand a little bit about the digital community and what you have to go through. So I'm also on 2 committees for AART. So last but not least, of course, is Javier Lopez. And Javier has been a scopist for over 10 plus years. And he is really your first line of contact when we take you through the products here and if you want to know more about them. He is our point of contact for you for getting up and running, making sure that you might get more information about our products after we're finished our demonstration here today. So that's the lineup. That's our team. As I said earlier, we started, Stenograph started in, before the 1900s. I'm not going to go back that far because we only have a limited time to showcase our products today. But it did start with the invention of the steno writer, what the stenographer actually uses back in the 1800s. But of course, our journey has continued, and we're just going to start with 1997 to current date. In 1997, I'm not going to read through all of these. You can look at the slide and see, but we introduced a product on the Windows side of the platform for our voice and steno reporters. And then we've supplemented some of the programs along the way too, to be able to produce transcripts in a high professional quality video platform software. But what I want to really focus on today is our journey into the digital world, which began in 2021. Yes, during COVID. Can you believe it? I know, right? I went into an office where there was nobody there. I was like, I guess I can pick any office I want. I'll pick one with a window. But we started our journey in 2021 with developing our own speech-to-text engine. You might hear the term ASR mentioned as automatic speech recognition. That takes audio and turns it into text. And with that audio turning into text, we have developed a program called MaxScribe, which is what the digital reporter will use to capture the record and make a transcript. But also during COVID, we recognized that the industry has shifted a bit. And how do you capture the record or do the proceedings, the live proceedings? It used to always be in person, but COVID changed that and made remote platforms a focus of being able to capture the record. So with Zoom and all the other ones out there, WebEx, well, we actually have a legal-based program, and you'll see that today too, on how we can do video depositions. And that's our case testify. And stick around for 2026, and maybe we'll get invited back and we can showcase what we are working on for the next coming generation. All right. As I said, this is focused today on digital. So even though we have our Case Catalyst software for our voice and steno reporters, and we have the steno machines, and even Case View Net, which is for our judges, attorneys to view the transcripts, we're really going to be focusing on the suite of products that the digital reporter will use, which is MaxDrive. And then the video platform, which is Case Testify, how we can tie it in to get a transcript done very quickly, either in a streaming or editing afterwards, so that if the client requests the transcript in a daily, rough ASCII, whatever, we can turn that around for them very quick. So these are our products, and YesLaw, which is our production software. I'm not going to go into great detail right now. Again, if you want to read the slides, I'll leave it up there for a moment because we're actually going to demonstrate this. So if you are a digital reporter, and we had a nice mix, I wrote down like what our mix was here today. If we are going to demonstrate this, now, Larry, I believe it looks like you might be sharing your screen now. I wasn't quite done, but that's okay. I guess we're moving us along. So let's jump into it.
Thank you so much, Pam. What you have in front of you currently is the Case Testify proceeding room. So we are currently in the video gallery view. You'll see all of our participants on the screen. We'll also be able to click on the exhibit panel, that white bar off to the right, and move into our standard 50/50 view. This is the standard option when you come into the proceeding room. Of course, you can use these sliders to customize your view. The first thing that we want to do is move our witness into the witness role. So we'll hover over the three dots next to their name, click Edit Attendee, and change their role from counsel to witness. We recognize that reporters are often the ones tasked with managing their remote proceedings. And so we have tried to make it as quick and easy as possible for reporters to do all of the administrative tasks asked of them so that they can still continue maintaining the record. If you look at the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you will notice the video conferencing controls. They are controls that you would expect to see in any video conferencing platform. But right next to them, you'll notice a large green off record button. We'll go ahead and click on that button now to take our proceeding on the record. And you'll notice that we get a quick warning showing us all of the people that have not attended our deposition today, but we're going to proceed without them. Now that we are on the record, that button turns bright red and says on the record. On the upper right-hand side of the video conferencing panel, you will see on the record video recording. And on the upper left-hand side, you will see on the record duration. This on the record duration clock is a lifesaver for court reporters because it gives them a quick and easy indicator of how long they've been on the record without actually having to do any math. Which I don't know about you, but I'm always happy when I can avoid just a little bit of math. Moving on to our exhibit feature, on the right-hand side of your screen, you will see that I have previous depositions in this case. Our platform automatically rolls those over, and I'll go ahead and share our exhibit for today. Now, once this exhibit opens, it will automatically move us to the Live Exhibit tab. The really nice thing about exhibits within our platform is that they are all interactive and people aren't marking up a screen share, they're marking up the actual document. Now, we are screen sharing a video conferencing platform, so it will just take an extra second longer to load than we normally would. Now that our exhibit is open, we can quickly stamp it by clicking on the stamp icon in the upper left corner. We'll be able to enter in a letter or number and click Apply to Exhibit. All of our exhibit stamps automatically apply to the bottom right-hand side of our exhibit. We can quickly and easily move and drag it around depending on our needs for that exhibit. Once we're done with this exhibit, we can use the X icon on the upper left-hand corner of the live exhibit panel to close the document for all participants. Now that we're back to our exhibit list, you'll be able to see the document that was shared, the attorney that shared the document, as well as what we labeled the exhibit as and the date and time that it was shared, making it quick and easy for you to manage all of the documents in the case. Lastly, we'll go over to the orange bar on the right-hand side for our view script feature. This is something unique to Case Testify, and we are capturing multi-channel audio for participants that are in the meeting while we are on the record. So if we're off the record, it is not going to go ahead and capture anything. We have these play audio icons below each audio snippet that will play isolated audio from that participant for you personally. If you wish to play back the audio for all participants, you'll use the play audio for all toggle at the top of your screen. ViewScript is fully searchable using the search testimony icon at the top. And additionally, we've added in some really cool features like the bookmark and note icon, where you can bookmark and leave notes on specific pieces of testimony for your review on a break or immediately following the proceeding. The last piece that I want to show you is going to be back over on the left-hand side of our screen. And you'll see three small dots on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and click on that. This is some additional features we've made to manage the proceeding as quickly and easily as possible. We'll go ahead and select active attendees. This menu is going to give you a quick snapshot of all of the participants in your proceeding. Again, we recognize that reporters are the ones typically responsible for managing the admin side of these proceedings. So if we need to move our witness or a participant to another sidebar room, we'll click that Move To drop-down and select the sidebar room we'd like. And you'll notice that it shows the witness is currently being moved to that room. And once they've been moved into the sidebar room, their name will then populate under that sidebar list. It makes it really quick and easy when you're trying to manage multiple people, and especially in large proceedings. We will go ahead and click the X icon to close out of active attendees. And we'll go back to that context menu one last time. The very first option on this menu is route audio output. We have built in multi-channel audio connection into our MaxScribe product. So if you are a digital reporter that is using Case Testify in conjunction with MaxScribe, you are able to use the drop-downs to the left of each participant's name to route their audio directly into your MaxScribe. It's a very quick and efficient way to bring your audio in without having to use any ad hoc technologies. And I'll go ahead and hand it over to Larry so that he can show you a little bit more about how MaxScribe works for digital reporters.
Thank you, Ashley. And I'm so sorry, Pam, for cutting you off. Hopefully you can see my MaxScribe screen.
That's okay, Larry. No problem. Just move me along.
I just moved you right out of the way.
You certainly did.
You can see my screen here now, Pam?
I can.
Very good. So let's get started with MaxScribe. That is a software that Ashley referred to, which is our digital software. So if you're a reporter out there and you want to go out there and start working, we would love for you to use our product called MaxScribe. This is the user interface for MaxScribe. If you're going to start using it as a reporter, we're going to start up here at the left, which is Manage Jobs. It's what you see here on the screen, which are the jobs you're working on or any files that you have that you use in the preparation of work. The next button is your capture screen, and you can capture two different ways. One way is for you to record only. The other is to record and stream if you want to see the text appear instantly as you are recording. Record only does not require internet, but recording with streaming capabilities, you will require having internet connection. The next one is auto transcript. Anybody who gets sent audio and the audio is in an MP3, MP4 WAV format, what you'll want to do is select auto transcript and it will create the transcript for you. You upload the file, it then sends it to our ASR, Phoenix, and returns a transcript for you to work on. The next one is export. Export I'm really proud of because this is a very robust software. You can use this software from start to finish. You're recording on it, you're editing on it, you're creating a Word file. If you're going to send this file out to someone who requests it in a Word format, maybe a basic ASCII file. CaseViewNet, maybe someone tuned in and watched the proceedings via our CaseView software. They may want the file in that format. Audio, you want to export the audio. PTX, which a lot of people understand it as being ETRAN. That's been around the industry for a long time. So if someone wants that particular format, MaxScribe can provide it for you. And then obviously YesLaw, which is our product that Pam will talk about later. And that allows you to create multiple assets for your clients to use. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you how easy it is to record. I'm going to come up here to capture. I'm going to select record only. Again, we talked about record only being only, does not require an internet connection. You get this screen that pops up after selecting that, which says, what kind of proceeding are you taking? So I'm going to type in a file name here. Just going to simplify it and call it one. And then I want to come over to the very important option button for your audio. You have only 4 basic areas to concentrate on here. What are you going to use to listen? I'm using my headset. What are you going to do to play it back out loud? I'm going to use my speakers on my computer. What type of physical input are you going to be using? So I'm going to select my microphone here, which is connected to my headset. And then virtual. Do I need to connect via Zoom, via Case Testify, our platform, do Teams, whatever platform you want to use in a virtual setting? Maybe you want to do both of these. You want to do an in-person and a virtual and come up with a different type of setting. Then all you have to do is select it here on this screen. I'm going to click Apply and click OK. After selecting those, I can come up here to Save Settings, save those settings for another time. So if I'm going to have a situation where I'm only recording in person, which is what I have right here, then I want to click Save, name it, and then the next time that I have an in-person, I just load the settings. So you don't have to go through those steps that I just went through if you set them and load them the next time you use them. Okay? So let's go ahead and click OK. We'll get a screen here that's going to show us what type of interface you're going to be working with. And I think this is something, if you're a digital reporter and you've been using the software or some other software for some time, you understand what you have to do, and that is to annotate. So as soon as that pops up, I'm going to talk about what's over here on the left-hand side, which is your auto control, your record control panel. And you can see the very important level bumping up and down. It's obvious to me, looking at this, and to you, is that the audio is coming in. I'm going to come over here to quick annotations. We like to annotate, but maybe we want to do it easily, and that is using some pre-built parentheticals, annotations that you're going to use. So all you have to do is double click on the one that you want. Over here on the right-hand side is where we are going to annotate. The minute I click record, you'll see that a parenthetical will automatically populate, showing you that we're on the record and at such and such time. Now, if I want to swear in the witness, I can type it, or I can just double click on my quick annotation and pop it up over there. If I need to mark some exhibits before we get started, I double click on that. And that puts in the parenthetical that certain exhibits were marked. When I'm ready to begin, what I have to do is just press F11 or F12. I can, if I want to, type in a Q and an A and whatever, and then the annotation over on the right-hand side. And you don't have to if you use your F11 and F12 key for Qs and As. Now, speakers, we want to make sure we add our speakers. We have a speaker tab down at the bottom. I'm going to go up here to the top, and I'm going to type in my speaker for today. My attorney is Mr. Jones, and I'm going to give Mr. Jones a shortcut, which is 1. Okay? The minute that happens, then that creates a little box that is called our seating chart. So whenever we add a speaker, it creates a seating chart item for us to be able to quickly glance up there and see what is the key that we're going to be using for this particular attorney in my shortcuts. So if I go back to my annotation, if I want to press just 1, you'll see that the name Mr. Jones should be popping in there. If I want to press 2, then you'll see that that will bring in the second speaker. Okay, and that's coming up here to my speaker list, which is a tab that we have at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so this is basically just the way we bring in annotations by pressing 1 or 2 for the shortcut, then coming over here and typing in whatever was stated. I'm going to come back and pause it. So that is how we use MaxScribe to record audio the old-fashioned way, which is start recording, making annotations, making sure everything was there. Now I'm going to take you to the new world, which is the streaming world, right? That's what everybody wants to see. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to double-click this key, and I'll show you something you can do here that I was about to pass up. And that is when you close the file, it'll ask you, what do you want to do with this file? And you can see that I can close the session. That's my first choice. Second is, do I want to just export the audio? I want to take the audio and take it and use it somehow, some other way. Or do I want to generate a transcript? If I select that and click continue, then it will send the audio that I just recorded up to the ASR and return a transcript for you. I'm going to click continue and just close it, because I want to go to the next exciting area of MaxScribe, and that is I'm going to go to capture, but this time I'm going to stream. I'm going to click continue, and then I'm going to type in a file name, and I'm going to be creative here and type the file name too. All right. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have our options, just like we did earlier, where we select the audio inputs. Okay. We don't have to go there because it's identically the same thing. Okay. I'm going to click OK, and then click OK one more time. What this will do, as soon as it connects to the program, it also connects to the internet, it also connects to our ASR, and then it will bring up a standard traditional transcript like we're all used to seeing. Okay? And we're going to come over here to the left-hand side, and this is where we can start our recording process. So again, you see our speaker list. Our speaker list is over here, just like you saw before. You enter your speakers the same way. Type in Mr. Jones, whoever the attorney is taking the transcript, and we can assign them to an engine speaker. We can come over here and also, now I used to, as a steno reporter, sometimes I did these nice big cases. This seating chart is going to help you keep track of these attorneys. Okay, I did asbestos cases where we had 20 attorneys in the room. I needed something to help me keep up with these attorneys. And here's the key. It's got a number 1 right underneath there. So I should be able to identify the attorney by pressing the number 1 on my keyboard. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to click on the record. And the minute it connects to the internet and it is testing everything that's coming up, then you see it coming in. So you're listening to me and you're watching what's coming up on the screen here, which should be me talking, and it's all instant. Nothing. I'm going to go over here. This is your job as the reporter. We're going to come over here to the speaker list, and we're going to assign Mr. Jones to be speaker 1, because that's what's happening when you see it there. And then you see it populates through the entire screen. The software knows if you start asking questions, then it knows to switch over to Q&A format. So it does that automatically, but it's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. So your job as a reporter is to, on the fly, you can see it coming in, but you may need to change something. You may need to change a Q or an A in that particular format. So let's pretend that right here on line 16, where I'm at, I need to put a question. The software didn't bring in, oh, let's go down here. So it's bringing in some bad stuff, okay? So let's fix it. I'm just going to hit 1 key to get rid of that, and let's put in a question there. I just hit Q. I want to come down here, get rid of that speaker. I'm going to hit 1 key and then bring in an A. So now the software is starting to take shape. It's creating the transcript for you. You have the ability to edit. You have the ability to build word vocabulary dictionaries that you can take from one job to the next. Let's say that this job requires some help. They've called you, they told you they want this expedited. So what do? Let's come up here and go to Real Team. I clicked on File, I select Real Team. I'm going to invite some friends. My friends are my Scopus. Javier is waiting. Pam is waiting. I'm going to invite them. All I had to do was click File, Invite. I'm going to invite them. In a second, you'll see their name appear on the screen. So you'll know where they're at editing. They can make any type of edit that a regular person would make when you're transcribing and editing. So those of you that are transcribers out there, you might want to look into becoming a real team transcriber. So what you're doing is you're editing on the fly as the proceedings are happening. So again, I'm still coming in down here. Now you see success. Pam likes to name herself Success. She doesn't name herself Pam. So anytime you see success, that's Pam. And in a minute, you'll see there's Javier right there next to her. So his name is J. Lopez, Javier Lopez, and he's in there helping me create this transcript. Because by the end of the day, they're going to want a clean transcript to use in the preparation of their next deposition. So this is Real Team. Okay? If I want to play the audio, maybe I want to listen to a snippet here just to verify what was said. I'm going to click on a line, and then I'm going to share my audio. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to share audio. And yeah, it's set. So if when I hit play, you should be able to hear what I said here on line 8. So I'm going to click there and click up here. But I can select play for me or play for others. This is also a way for you to be able to play out loud. So I'm going to come up here to play audio. So talking, and it's all instant. Nothing. I'm going to go over here. This is your job as the reporter. We're going to come. There you go. I don't want to hear myself anymore, but it's just a matter of clicking the spot where you want to listen. The audio is synced to the text, and then come up here to play audio. And I think I've showed you. I mean, there's so many more features that I need to show you, but that's what we're going to teach you in our learning management system. Oh, let me show you something that's very important. I nearly skipped this. I have my annotations pane over here open. So I like to come over here, and when I'm showing this, we have the ability to block foreign speakers. So if you take an interpreted proceeding, and all of a sudden an attorney says, okay, we have an attorney here, our witness is going to need an interpreter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say something like, please state your name, and answer. That interpreter is going to say, por favor, dame tu nombre. And then when I'm ready to go back, then I can hit F10. My name is Larry Pies. And then they say, can you tell me where you live? ¿Me puede decir dónde vive usted? Now, you're hearing me, but it's not transcribing because you have the ability to clean this up while it's happening. So at the point that you're ready to go back and start producing the transcript, then all you have to do is hit F10. And you can see that it says foreign speech, start and end over here on the right-hand side. And my good editors in the background are making this thing look so pretty, okay? Because they're globaling. Anytime you see anything pink, that means they've created a change, a search and replace, in other words, that's going to change the transcript through the entire job, or the vocabulary through the entire job. So that is our foreign language tool that we have for us to be able to manage. Now, if I didn't hit it in time or I missed something, the audio is being recorded. So if I miss something, and if you've ever done a deposition, sometimes they go back to English and Spanish in the middle. You may need to have that audio there. It may not be in the transcript itself. The actual transcript may not have that, but the audio is there for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a pause here, and we're going to close this file, or we can just come over here to completed transcript. You don't have to actually end the file. You can, on your breaks where you're supposed to be resting as reporters, no, we don't rest. We go back and start editing on other things, right? So you can see that I have a finished transcript here, and I need to send this out. But immediately I see that I've got the wrong layout. Okay, I see my lines over here on the left-hand side. I know that this guy who takes these depositions wants a different format. So all I have to do is come up here to Format, apply a new layout, and I'm going to select the layout that this person or this attorney requires, or maybe it's a different jurisdiction. So what you'll see is that you'll have whenever you load the software, you'll see layouts from California and Texas. So you can come up here to Format, select the layout you want. For some reason, there it is. And click Open, and instantly the transcript will have a different appearance because that's what they require. Okay? Now, what we want to do also is build that dreaded index. You know that index that you have to go and you have to find out where the examination started? Well, you can see in this transcript, there's no index here. Okay? That's because the software does it for you. Okay? So I'm going to come up here to Tools, and I'm going to come down to Index, and I'm going to select Build Index. When that happens, and click OK, the software will go through the transcript, and they will be able to pick up all of the exhibits, pick up all of the examinations, and even those instances where the attorney says, don't answer that question. Okay? So here you have my index. You have the examination was on page 6, photograph was on 8, 9. These numbers are not static. So at the point that you have to go back and review the transcript for some reason, those numbers will change if that parenthetical moved to another line or a different page. And at the point that we're finished, what's the next step? Well, other than getting paid, which is going to happen soon, what I want to do is export it. How am I going to send this job? Am I sending it as a compressed print? We can do compressed prints. We can do word searches. We can also do any type of format that you want or that attorney wants. And I'm going to cancel here. And thank you very much for allowing me to come into your world and show you our world, which is MaxScribe.
All right. Thank you, Larry. Well, if you don't mind, I'm just going to share my screen here too. So give me 1 second and let me bring it up. And if you'd like to see me, I'll put myself back on the screen here.
Of course, we want to see you.
All
Beautiful
right.
smile.
Okay. So what you've seen so far then is our recording software, which is MaxScribe, which is what the digital reporter uses, and also the legal transcriber, transcriptionist, Scopus, to edit the transcript. Ashley demonstrated our client offerings, which is our remote video platform. And the reporter tools, again, were in MaxScribe software for producing the transcript, doing the keyword index, doing an index page, exporting the file out. We do also offer solutions for backlogs. If you do have a backlog of audio files, feel free to reach out to us and we'll give you our contact information and we can help you with that as well. I am going to show you another program that we have called YesLaw in just a moment. And if you have a client that wants and requires additional assets, maybe they want a video sync transcript or they want hyperlinked exhibits in the transcript in a PDF form, we can certainly do that as well. And I'll even show you how you can learn all about our products. So let's move on to what YesLaw looks like as far as a PDF goes. So if an agency is interested in producing a transcript that has a professional cover page on it, a digital stamp on it, an electronic or digital signature, YesLaw can provide all of that, along with a keyword index. And then some easy navigation tools over on the right side where the bookmarks are to go from one page to another within the transcript, or to go down to the keyword index and navigate within there as well. And it makes it easy to get to those different locations in the file. And as I mentioned, also, we do have exhibit linking automatically. You don't have to worry about linking those manually. You can hyperlink right to the spot in the transcript and even bring up the exhibit itself. So those assets are pretty handy to have. And that's what YesLaw can do for you. So it's a nice looking, very professional transcript that the agencies can use. So lots of products you saw today in a limited period of time that we have. How are you going to learn them all? Well, we do have a Stenograph Academy. It is our learning management system that we provide with all of the products that you've just seen here today. And the nice thing about our LMS is it is interactive. It is on demand, online. There's practice lessons. There are some quizzes along the way to test your knowledge and even to track your progress in learning the programs. So if you are interested in any of our programs, we have a learning management system as well. And of course, we also do provide live support, phone support, if you want to give us a call. So in summary, you've seen it. Well, most of it, our end-to-end solutions, as Larry demonstrated, our ASR engine, which is, we call it Phoenix. It's got a name, and we have purpose-built that for the legal industry. So it's pretty comprehensive. Now, I don't know if we've answered all your questions. Obviously, there might be more things you want to know about. You might want to know about pricing on the products. When it comes to pricing, of course, we need to know which product you're interested in, how you plan on using it, what volume you are you an agency owner, and so forth. So grab your phones, folks. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more and want to actual maybe one-on-one demo of any one of these products, or you want to learn more about them, you can scan this code right now and let us know what product you're interested in and how we can contact you. And we will reach out to you to follow up. If you just want to email us too, you're certainly welcome just to email us, and that's at enterprise@stenograph.com. So I don't know if we were able to answer all of your questions in our limited time today, but we want to turn it back over. Hopefully, there has been some questions. Maybe we've answered them as we've been going along. But Tamara, I am going to turn it back over to you and let us know if there was anything that we can answer as a team here today.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys. That was amazing. Everything that you walked through was very informative and helpful. So I think you did answer a lot of questions along the way, but we do have a couple in the Q&A pod that I'll go ahead and shoot at you real quick. So the first one says, is Case Testify more for independent court reporters? It looks like it's its own platform. When do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I can go ahead and take that. Case Testify is definitely geared more towards small to mid-sized agencies, but individual reporters, if they're responsible for providing the video conferencing link, can absolutely use it. And you can also request to use it with the agency that you're working with.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, and so we know everything is always improving. Technology moves at the speed of light. So this question is asking about Stenograph improving the ASR's ability to create more accurate transcripts for first-time Macs. Here's the speakers. So let me read the question exactly how it is and see if you guys know how to answer it or if we need more info later. Says, is Stenograph improving the ASR's ability to create more accurate transcripts? First time Max hears the speakers. I guess Max Scribe, they're saying.
I'll take a stab at that, and I'll give a little bit more of a general answer. And if you guys want to have more clarification, please feel free to drop another question in there. We're working with the engineering team every single day to continue improving our Phoenix engine. Speaker identification is something that all ASRs struggle with, understandably. That's why it's never quite as good as a human. That's why we're still editing and scoping on the back end, but we are constantly working on trying to make it as efficient as possible to make your life as easy as possible.
Beautiful. Ashley, you're amazing. Thank you. Oh, and actually, I agree. So Colleen says this is amazing on her next thing and her question too, but she's also asking, she's curious to see what happens if someone is not near enough a mic or when two people talk at the same time. Would you want to just speak to that a little bit as far as, when we have audio issues, court reporter's favorite part to speak up and make sure they're getting that clear audio. Is there anything else you guys would want to add to that as far as Max Crime?
So Larry, do you want to take that one?
Well, as a reporter, it's your job to make sure that you're listening to that audio as it's coming in. Obviously, when it's streaming, you can tell when they're not close enough to the mic. But it is your job as the keeper of the record to make sure you stop them if they're talking over each other. If they're not talking loud enough, that's your job. And as a reporter, that I had to do that many, many times. It's a little bit scary sometimes and intimidating when you have, a room full of attorneys and you're stopping them, but it's something that's necessary.
Yeah, 100%. And so a lot of times too, what's nice on the remote proceeding type, if you have two different speakers, like how we're all on our own coming through, does that feed through to MaxScribe automatically that way? So like if you and I talk at the same time, both will be captured because we're coming through two different inputs? Or how's that work?
Yes, if you're using a multi-channel connection, it is going to capture those channels independently, so it would transcribe them independently.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then I think you guys can answer this one kind of quickly too. So when Max is translating the foreign language, it's just leaving it out, correct? It's not translating it into English.
That's correct.
Yes.
What it's doing is it's leaving it out. If you look at a deposition, I did multiple hundreds of interpreted proceedings. They don't want to see the Spanish in there. They don't want to see the French in there. They want it to be English because that's why they have an interpreter that's been sworn in to testify and to translate.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm just going to give the one feedback Janine threw in there that she loves the auto index. I'm sure there's a lot of people that agree with that. So I'll give that feedback to you guys while we're there. Our next question from Tracy. When the real-time transcribers jump in, are they able to hear the audio as well?
Yes, we all have the audio, and that audio is synchronized to wherever our cursor is in the file. So if I was scoping and editing that file, which I was doing, I could have put my headphones on or I could play it out loud because I hear all the audio. So it's synchronized to the audio with the text. So the answer is yes.
Great. Thank you, Pam. And then one more question. Is there special scoping software?
No, it's MaxScribe.
MaxScribe does it all.
Mhm.
Nice, short and sweet answer. Perfect. And then just I'll give the one last feedback before I hop over and we go over. I have some questions I'm going to give to Merritt. We just had a comment that Donna said she was a court monitor for 12 years, and this is sweet. Very nice. So thank you guys so much for that. If anything else pops in, you guys can think of, you could pop in a question in the Q&A pod and maybe one of the panelists can answer it via the Q&A pod. Otherwise, I'm going to hop over to you, Miss Merritt. I wanted to ask you a couple things to help um, put this all into context for learners, but even just experienced ones. We have so many experienced people on the call today as well. How do you maintain the high accuracy standards that our profession demands while integrating new technology?
To maintain high accuracy when integrating with this new technology, you have to fully understand how the technology works. So Larry spoke to a lot of this during his presentation. As a digital reporter, the key is preparation, setting up each speaker and making sure the audio is super clear. And for accurate ASR transcription results, you have to ensure the audio is crystal clear. Back again to what they were just saying. We have to still make sure the audio is very clear. There's no background noise or mumbling, because otherwise the technology itself, the ASR, is not going to be able to translate those as clearly into precise text. And when you're scoping a first draft produced by an ASR, you need to learn how to combat audiovisual illusions. Like your brain really can play tricks on you when you're scoping. So you have to be on high alert that just because you see a word as it looks on the page, is that what you're actually hearing? And there's lots of techniques and tips to make sure that you're doing this as best that you can.
Awesome. Thank you. That's super helpful. From an educator's perspective, what does this all boil down to? Like, how can technology help court reporters expand their career opportunities?
It helps them be able to broaden their skill set and offer more advanced services to their clients, like the live streaming that they were mentioning, or immediate roughs. And it also allows you to complete the final transcript much more quickly if you're using the right tools and using them correctly.
Okay, perfect. All great things to think about. And it's nice to remember when we're going through these things and they take so much time and effort and patience sometimes as we're juggling and learning that it is so worth it. I mean, for so many different reasons. One of my things I really wanted to ask, we do have this amazing community. And as we already saw in the polls, there's such a wide variety of experience within the industry, but even just in this smaller community. How can experienced reporters mentor others through technology transitions?
Yeah, that's a really good question because community is so important and mentorship is essential in any profession, especially during technological change. And so experienced reporters can help guide. And I mean, we saw the Stenograph lineup and it seemed like they have a lot of support. So when people have questions, they can reach out to those people who are obviously very knowledgeable in their own software, but there might be other MaxScribe users, you know, on different forums and groups and things that you can reach out to. It just makes the transition much easier. And also, I just didn't want to forget. I had a question. I'd love to ask your team if we had another minute here. Is that okay?
Sure.
Um, I remember stenographers always asking for, when I worked at the agency, word lists, verified spellings, and exhibit as much information as possible because they wanted, if they were going to be taking a real-time job, they want like as clear as a translation as possible. Is that the same with MaxScribe? Would they, if I had verified spellings before the job took place as a digital reporter, if I fed it to MaxScribe, would then the ASR take that and give more accurate translation?
Yes, it actually does it at the MaxScribe level, though. So we would be bringing in a job word list to, recognize Szynski, for example. And anything that they give you ahead of time is always, helpful because we can build out those word lists ahead of time, have them then available so that when we are going to start the stream or record only or auto transcript, whichever method that we're going to produce the transcript, it will recognize all of the words and phrases that are unique to a particular deposition or hearing. So yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Man, you guys, an hour goes by quickly, right? There's so much, so much information, so many things going on. You guys have been beyond amazing, and I just love the energy that you brought and everything that you have to show. Like you said, you've been in the industry for so long, and we appreciate all the advancements and everything that you bring to the table. To everyone here, you guys make these sessions such a joy to host. The energy and all your thoughtful questions, and even just the sweet comments you guys throw in there is just it's just amazing. We thank you so much. It's what keeps us excited to do this and looking forward to it all the time. You guys are just such an incredible group. I know I say it all the time, but it's because I really mean it. So thank you so much for that. And to our friends at Stenograph, you guys, we can't thank you enough. Your willingness to share your expertise, like I said, and walk us through everything. It really means the world, and you've been absolutely fantastic. If you guys saw anything today that sparked your interest, definitely get in touch with Stenograph. We only had time to showcase a fraction of what they do and all the capabilities and everything in there. And as you can see, they're amazing and friendly and helpful. They're always happy to dive deeper into how their tools could work for your specific situation. So make sure you use that contact information that Pam threw out for you, and you can reach out to them anytime. Just a very quick reminder for everyone, tomorrow afternoon, you'll get the survey in your email. If you're claiming CEUs, filling that out is required to get your certificate. So make sure you complete that, okay? And wishing everyone a beautiful holiday season. We're wrapping up the end of the year. May the end of your year be beautiful. And we're already looking forward to reconnecting with you all in the new year. So we'll be coming up soon on that. And I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day. Thank you, everyone, so, so much. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Tamara. We appreciate it.
Yes, appreciate you. Thank you so much. You guys getting lots of love and everything in there from the reactions. So bye, everybody. Take care. I love it.